What's going on, y'all? We're gonna go over a deal today, and it's gonna be multifamily in the area, not too expensive. I'll look for something. We'll shoot for like a duplex to a fourplex, and then I'll show you the numbers, and you'll see the cash flow for everything. So let's go ahead and get started. Are you in? It's so much better. All right, so this is one of the properties I could locate. It's off 36th Street in Norfolk. So not a bad area. They're building it up. They're gentrifying the area. This would be a good place to just have a house in general. It's not going to be super nice at first, but that's part of investing. You have to be willing to be slightly uncomfortable in order to, gain cash flow and propel yourself. A good starter as far as investing goes. Built in 1908. Price per square foot, 119 square feet. So it says it's a 2-bed, 1-bath in both of the units. And run what the mortgage would be, and then we're gonna see what the area goes for as far as rent goes. Here's how we do the mortgage calculation. The cost of the house, $275. Then we're gonna do a FHA loan. So that's 3.5% down. Right there, you're looking at at least $9,000 down. In this current market, we can ask for closing cost assistance. So really, to get your hands on this property, you're only going to need probably $10,000 safely. Let's go ahead and keep running it. See what the monthly tax would be. So current interest rates are teetering around 6.5%. Right now, this is all subject to change whenever. Especially with a different time frame, if you're looking at March or later in the year, closer to summertime, it's predicted that they're going to come back down. So we'll see what happens, but let's just stick to the conservative side and do what we have right now. So that'll be a 6.5% interest rate. Taxes. All right, so even on Zillow, you can even find some of the information on this house. You can go in here and you find out what the property taxes are, the monthly insurance rate that they're paying, and then apply that to what you're looking at. This monthly cost is not going to apply to us because we're not putting 20% down. This is the MLS listing for it. You see it's been on the market for 115 days. That gives us a lot of leverage. We could talk it down in price. We could throw the closing cost assistance in there probably as well. So there's a lot of upside so far. All right, so after putting some of this stuff in here, I would say, tentatively, your monthly payment might be $2,000. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna look at the monthly rates going on in the area. So we saw that we were in this area right here. I have two properties right here and right here. Oh, let me go right here. Right here and right here I have two properties. So this is not a terrible area by any means. I think there's a brewery right here. You start heading towards Grammy, this is actually a pretty good street right here. So this is a nice property to pick up. All right, so we're switching it to rent to show you guys what things are going for in the area. And it looks like we have a 2-bed, 1-bath. That would be per unit. So if we look, we're gonna apply this, see what we get. Home type, all of the above. The rate is about, I'm gonna factor all these in. This is 2-1, this is a 2-1 right here. A little more in the hood area. This one's a 2-1 as well. I'd say, realistically, you can get about, depending on the work you put in, you could either get $1,400, or if you leave it the way it is, probably $1,250. This would be a $1,400 property. So they painted it. That's pretty much all they did. Painted it and cleaned it up. There's old light fixtures, that's it. Nothing crazy. So if you have $1,400 coming in on one half of the unit, we looked at it at $2,000. So if you have 14 and you make sure that your tenant pays all utilities, and then you have, the remaining balance, that would only be $600, and then you pay whatever utilities on your side too. So your mortgage might be, $800, which is pretty nice. And then you could stay at this property for a little bit because you're going to be required to at least a year. If you find a reason you need to move earlier, you can. Sometimes you don't need to stay there for the whole year. You could buy another house and you can factor this into your income. But essentially what I'm saying is, once you take on these leases and you apply for another loan, they're going to want you to add those leases into your income. So whatever you got approved for the first time will actually be more the next time, because they're not going to look at it just like debt. They're going to look at it as increased income as well. And then your monthly mortgage payment, they'll factor that in there with everything. But your monthly mortgage payment with someone helping you to pay for the rest is going to be $600 versus most of the houses that are going to be in the market right now, because your price range would probably be around that anyways. It's going to be $2,000 just flat out. So this is a really, really good option to go with. We'll go ahead and look at another property as well. So we're going to switch it back to for sale. And then we'll stick to none of that stuff. Need to update this. Go ahead and change it to multifamily. Yes, sir. Take away that and that. Put it to any. All right, so let's see what we got here now. Directly to God. No, I don't need no middleman. In my perspective, for my opinion, this one right here would be the one I would go for personally. But let's see if we can find something nicer. We'll go ahead and do a 430 property as well, just for shits and gigs. So at 430, this might be too big. Looks like could be a fourplex. If this is a fourplex, amazing property. So let's go ahead and investigate. I'll save my rain account. Look in the MLS, see what we got here. All right, it's active, not under contract yet. Been on the market for 2 weeks. It's a fourplex. That's great. 2 bed, 1 bath per unit. I mean, we can safely say you could probably get $1,300 per unit after looking at everything. So 13, 13, 13, you live in 1. So if you just do the math right there, let's pull a calculator out. 1,300, we're just gonna say 1,300 per unit. Let's bring it down just to be safe. We'll bring it down to 1,200, just for sake of argument. Keep it conservative. 1,200 is like on the cheaper side for a 2-bed, 1 bath in the area. And I always recommend having pets as well. Pets creates a lot more tenant base, and then you just have a pet fee and have a good security deposit and you should be good. Just make sure you screen everyone beforehand. Times this by 4, you're gonna have 4,800 coming in a month. So now let's go ahead. Well, you'll be living in one, so let's minus one of those 1,200s. So if you live in this property, it's 3,600. We know the math. All right. Anyways, 3,600 a month. Because 1,200 times 3 is 3,600. I go ahead and run the numbers on this. Taxes are gonna be higher. There we go. Taxes, down payment, all that jazz. There we go right here. Put the property tax in. It was 3,100. Home insurance, that's probably about right. So 3,300. You are actually making cash flow off this property, right? So even in this crazy market, you'll be making some cash flow. This is what's beautiful about it. You stay there for a little bit, and once you actually leave, you already calculate you're going to be making $4,800 a month off this property. Just stay there for the time period, make your $200. It's only about to be a year. It's only got to be a year. So you'll have a super cheap mortgage payment. Your mortgage payment is going to be, let's see what it said. 33, and then you're making 3,600. You have no mortgage payments. You'll be making $200, $250 off this property, and then when a year passes, you'll go ahead and rent out that last unit and go get a new house. Use that income towards you again, all those leases, and then rent out that last unit, and then you'll be making $1,500 a month off of this property. That is a good chunk of change. $1,500 back in your pocket per month, and then if they bring the interest rates down, you can refi this right here. So if we refied it, let's say they come back down to 4.5, that's what they're predicting, you'd have 2,800. And if we pull a calculator out, we said 4,800. And if you do these properties up, you could bump it up to 1,300. You renovated these a little bit. You don't need to do full kitchen. I never do full kitchen. I just paint, change light fixtures, clean up the house. Let's just say 1,300 instead. Times 4, because you move out. Let's say you move out and everything, you renovated 5,200, and your new monthly payment after you refi would be 2,800. So 2,832. You're looking at $2,368 per month, one property. And you just keep moving it, and build up that monopoly board, you know? So if someone is able to afford this property, it's a good one, definitely. With 15K down, that's it. I mean, really what you're looking at is you're spending $15,000 up front to make off the bat, you're gonna be living there. But if you spend $15,000, initially you'll make $250 a month off your $15,000 for at least a year. And then that $15,000 will now give you up to what was it? It was like 5,000 or so. Let me see what it said. 5,200. So this is a good one. This is definitely a good one. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do one more property. Okay, so if that last property seemed like too big of a purchase and it might make you uncomfortable or something taking on that big of a project as your first property, we can shop around a little bit. I mean, if you went super cheap, I saw 160 right here. I just don't know if the quality of living would be that great. If it's 160 for a duplex, I mean, you might expect to be somewhere kind of ghetto. Yeah, you can already see right there. So a big thing to point out too is with these FHA loans, VA loans, you can't get a property that is too beat up. You can get a beat up property, but if it's as is, chances are it's not going to get approved. But we can always negotiate also and ask the seller to fix a couple things in order for it to be approvable. That's always possible. 244. See what they have to say about it. So they're saying the total cash flow in this is $2,000 a month. They were already renovated. So essentially, it's saying it's sold in as is condition. We already kind of ran the numbers. You'd probably be at like 1,900. You know, so you can be making, you know, I don't really like this one in particular, personally. Let me think why. Because I think, yeah, if these are 2-1s, let me see the inside. I mean, you can see these pictures aren't that great. So if they, you know, change some light fixtures and brighten it up, clean it up, so much of real estate's marketing. So they're getting $2,000 for it. I could get $2,400 for it, which would therefore make it a good property. You get $500 a month. So this probably is a good property still. Let's see another one. But you've seen how we've already done this. We can switch it around again and look at the rents one more time. Stick to. It looks like all these are about 2-bed, 1 bath. It's the exact match. Apply. All right, so you see a 13 right here. Yes, you see this 950 right here. Let's see why it's 950. I mean, we all know this is still a good property probably, but I mean, you can see that right there. That's not, you know, the best. Also, there's no pictures of it. I can't even look at any pictures. So marketing, so important. Let's I'm actually going to show you what I typically do to my properties. Let's see. There she is, running territory. Yeah, that was hilarious. Let me see if I can find. I'm not really good at this social media stuff. Let's see. Getting a little personal over here, looking at my Insta. Okay. All right, let's see. This was a renovation project that I did. So I bought it like this. It would have rented out for 14, but I wanted to convert it into a 4-bedroom house. Not saying to do that, but essentially the minimal stuff I do. New light fixture, painted the walls. Yes, I put that in there, the staircase. But I changed the light fixtures out, painted it. And that's really what you got to do. You just got to paint. You got to paint it, change light fixtures. That's it. Clean it. You don't need to spend a bunch of money on a house. You just got to, you know, just do it. obviously I converted this, but I do like the bare minimum still, just paint and make it look clean and nice. But yeah, this property, the monthly mortgage on this one is 1,100, and I make 2,250 off of it. To give you an idea. Beautiful. Look at all these multifamilies, man. It's all up for grabs right now. No one's buying. It's all up for grabs. One more. What would I grab? I like this number right here, 344. Let's see what we got here. Duplex at 344. So they're saying this income producing property has 6 one-bedroom units, so you cannot purchase this, unfortunately, because we can only go up to a 4-bedroom or a 4-unit with the FHA. So that one would not work. We looked at that one. Let's see if there's something in Ocean View. I like Ocean View. 275, 450. Let's go 275. Keep it lower. This is probably a duplex, so we're gonna estimate that's $2,000 a month for it. Looks in pretty good condition. Doesn't have a lot of photos of it, so I don't know what to assume. What they said was separately metered. That's great. 2-bed, 1 bath. Let's assume that we can get $1,350 for it, probably, for the area. There you go. You get new flooring and paint. You don't have to do anything to this property. So you probably get $1,400 for this one per unit. They're already doing some work for you. So you'll make $400 off of this. Cash flow. My minimum for cash flow in a terrible market would be 250, which it is a terrible market. You can still find deals. When the market shifts a little bit, and then the interest rates come down. Like if we change the interest rate on the mortgage calculator real quick, say it drops down, let's bring the price down to 275, and then bring the interest rates to 4.5. So they're looking at 1,900. What would they say for? Right, so 22. So yeah, 200. So like I was saying, it'd be like $200 essentially. Yeah. Oh, the property tax too. That's part of it. They're probably 2,000 for something like this size. Yeah, so you'd make what I just said, 250 off of it, which is still good. You're adding. It's not always just about cash flow. Cash flow is awesome, but you're also building that equity into your house as well. You know, you're building that appreciation over time. As soon as you put your money in here, you're winning, like right off the bat. For example, my duplex I bought, I had it for a couple years, and then the equity went up because I did some reno, nothing crazy, just painted and stuff, and I was able to refi it and pull out $40,000 and then go buy another duplex with that money. So basically I'm cash flowing on this duplex, and then immediately just went and got more cash flow, and both those properties are appreciating at the same time. So my retirement's pretty much set if I have both these properties, essentially close to $1 million, like once you keep adding equity in these properties. So anyways, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and you can reach me. You saw my Instagram, it's Dreamprojectz with a Z at the end. Yeah, just shoot me in comments, and then we can touch base via telephone or whatever, or email as well. But Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great day.
Sometimes you will, sometimes you deal, sometimes you have to